Chapter 7. Cold Fury. The three dark dragons were outside the barn when R.R.Martin returned, feasting on the burned and black carcasses of her father's stock. One of the dragon riders was standing near them, leaning on his lance and prodding this dragon from time to time. He looked up when the cold gust of wind came shrieking across the fields and shouted something and sprinted for the black dragon. The beast tore half a less hunk of meat from her father's horse and swallowed and rose reluctantly into the air. The rider flailed his whip. R.R. saw the door of the farmhouse burst open. The other two riders rushed out and ran for the dragons. The black dragon roared, and its fire came blazing up at them. R.R. felt the searing of heat, and a shudder went through the ice dragon as the flames played along its belly. Then it craned its long neck around. It fixed its baleful, empty eyes upon the enemy, and opened its frost-rimmed jaws. Out from among its icy teeth its breath came streaming, and that breath was pale and cold. It touched the left wing of the coal-black dragon beneath them, and the dark beast gave a shrill cry of pain. And when it beat its wings again, the frost-covered wing broke in two. Dragon and dragon rider began to fall. The ice dragon breathed again. They were frozen and dead before they hit the ground. The rust-colored dragon was flying at them, and the dragon, the color of blood, was with its bare-chested rider. R.R.'s ears were filled with their angry roaring, and she could feel their hot breath around her, and see the air shimmering with heat, and smell the stink of sulfur. Two long swords of fire crossed in mid-air, but neither touched the ice dragon, though it shriveled in the heat, and its water flew from it like rain whenever it beat its wings. The blood-colored dragon flew too close, and the breath of the ice dragon blasted the rider. His bare chest turned blue before R.R.'s eyes, and the moisture condensed on him in an instant, covering him with frost. He screamed and died and fell from the mount, though his harness had remained behind, frozen to the neck of the dragon. The ice dragon closed on it, wings screaming the secret song of winter, and its blast of flame met a blast of cold. The ice dragon shuddered once again and twisted away, dripping. The other dragon died. But the last dragon rider was behind them now, the enemy in full armor, on the dragon whose scales were the brown of rust. R.R. screamed, and even as she did, the fire enveloped the ice dragon's wing. It was gone in less than an instant, but the wing was gone with it. Melted. Destroyed. The ice dragon's remaining wing beat wildly to slow its plunge, but it came to earth with an awful crash. Its legs shattered beneath it, and its wings snapped in two places. And its impact of the landing threw R.R. from its back. She tumbled to the soft earth of the field and rolled and struggled up, bruised but whole. The ice dragon seemed very small now, very broken. Its long neck sank wearily to the ground, and its head rested amid the wheat. The enemy dragon rider came swooping in, roaring with triumph. The dragon's eyes burned. The man flourished his lance and shouted. The ice dragon painfully raised its head once more, and made the only sound that R.R. ever heard it make. A terrible, thin cry full of melancholy, like the sound the north wind makes when it moves around the towers and battlements of the white castle that stands empty in the land of always winter. When the cry faded, The ice dragon sent cold into the world one final time. A long, smoking, blue-white stream of cold that was full of snow and stillness, and the end of all living things. The dragon rider flew right into it, still brandishing whip and lance, Adara watching crash. Then she was running away from fields back to the house and her family within, running as fast as she could, running and panting and crying all the while like a 7-year-old. Adara did not know what to do, but she found Terry, whose tears had dried by then, and they freed Jeff, and they untied their father. Terry nursed him and cleaned out his wounds. When his eyes opened, he saw Adara. He smiled. He hugged him. She hugged him very hard and cried for him. By night, he said he was fit enough to travel. They crept away from under the cover of the darkness and took the king's road south. Her father asked no questions then, and in hours of the darkness and fear, but later when they were safe in the south, there were questions endlessly. Adara gave them the best answers she could, but none of them ever believed her, except for Jeff. And he grew out of it when he got older. She was only 7, after all. She did not understand that ice dragons are never seen in summer. They cannot be tamed nor ridden. Besides, when they left the house that night, there was no ice dragon to be seen. Only the huge dark corpses of 3 war dragons and the smaller bodies of 3 dragon riders in black and orange. And a pond that had never been there before. A small, quiet pool where the water was very cold. They walked around it carefully, headed toward the road.